Hello from sunny Trimaris. Greetings to you from wherever you're joining us today. We do have several members of the Kingdom of Trimaris present with us today, and we hope you are having a wonderful day from wherever you are. This is the first quarter of 2026 Board of Directors meeting. My name is Jonathan Foster. I am your chairman, and I hold seat C. I am the ombudsman for the corporate officers. And we will go around and introduce ourselves for you. Megan?
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Megan O'Shea. In the society, I'm known as Sumaya Al-Ghazaya. I am the vice chair of the board, the director for CP, and I am the ombudsman for National Artemisia and East Kingdoms, as well as publications and arts and sciences. Glad you'll be here.
Hi, I'm Joan Stoyer. I'm Rianwin in the SCA, came from Calatier, next to singing. I am the director for CD and the ombudsman for Abacal, Drakenwald, Eldemir, and Lockhart.
Carl Chipman, Director-elect Seat G, from Onstjura, Principality of Vindheim, province of Moon Shadow. Yeah,
Please slow down.
that is slow. That's as slow as I go. All right. Anyway, so yeah, Carl Chipman from Onstjura, Vindheim, Moon Shadow. Director-elect CG, I believe I will be taking over Outlands, North Shield, and no, we're not that one.
We'll cover it later.
Yeah.
Hi, I am Stacy Hall. I am your society seneschal. In the society, I'm known as Gwendolyn Neolution. I'm from the Kingdom of Trimaris, the Barony of Iron Mountain, and I'm very happy to see everyone.
Hello, my name is Mark Falcon. I am the outgoing director for CG. In the society, I am Martin Lochner, hailing from the sunny Kingdom of Trimaris. Oh, and for another 3 or so hours, I am the ombudsman for Calatier, Outlands, the Shadowlings office, and information technology.
I'm Evan Kurtzman in the society known as Brock of Alderden. I am from the Kingdom of Kaid, Shire of Al Sahid, and here I am the legal advisor.
My name is Keith Howard. I am the chairman of Seat F. I'm from the Middle Kingdom, known in the society as Angus Hayward-Assoon, and I am from the Mid-Realm, the canton of Hawks Cay. And I'm the ombudsman for Ontier, Artemisia, Kaid, West, and the Marshallet.
Hi, I'm Val Pham. I'm the SCA president. I have raging ADHD, so I will try to talk as slow as I can. I'm from the Barony of the Steppes and Onstjura. My SCA name is Baldwin de Lafayette.
I'm Sam Davis. I'm the Vice President of Information Technology. And in the SCA, I'm known as Thomas Blackmore. And I come from the Shire of Owlsnest in the Kingdom of Trimaris.
I am Erin Potter Tien. I am the Society Exchequer. I reside in the Kingdom of the Middle. And in society, I am Catalina Ivana.
Kate?
Hi, everybody. I'm Kate Poor. In the society, I'm known as Ekaterina Korkovna Holopova. I reside in the Kingdom of the Outlands. I am the ombudsman for seat E, which means I am the ombudsman for Trimaris. Woo! Glenaban, Ethelmark, inclusive programming, and the Heralds.
Krista?
Good morning. Sorry I'm not there in Trimaris, but my name is Krista Capps. I currently live in the West Kingdom. I'm the director for Seat A, and I'm currently ombudsman for Atlantia, Middle, Aidenvelt, Meridies, and board recruiting.
Carolyn?
Hi, I'm Carolyn Richardson. I am the Society Corporate Treasurer, and I currently live in Kaid and am known as Techeba of Green Lake.
Andrew?
Hello, I'm Andrew Harness. I am known in the society as Otter Surtson out of Callantyre, and I'm currently your society chatelaine.
Roxy?
Hello, I am Roxy Elliott. I am the Society DEIB officer. In society, I am known as Castellana de Andalusia, and I reside in the Principality of Vendheim, Kingdom of Anstiora.
Kevin?
My name is Kevin Bond. I am the Society Web Minister. In the SCA, I'm known as Melchior Zumgralmulf from the Kingdom of Atlantia and the Barony of Lochmere.
Melissa?
Hi, I am Melissa Midzer, also known as Arabella de Siena. I hail from the Kingdom of the Outlands, and I am your Society Marshal.
Ellen?
Hi, I'm Ellen Rawson, known in the Society as Ariel of Lindisfarne. I am the editor of Complete Anachronist, and I live in the Kingdom of Drakkenvold.
Renee? Renee, if you're speaking, you're on mute. All right. So we are also joined by 2 sign language interpreters who are joining us. So we are going to endeavor to speak slowly, clearly, and loudly, so we don't drive them batty. Viewers online, if you need to use the interpreters, you can pin them for viewing so that they stay displayed during the meeting. And with that, I believe we are ready to proceed. The floor is open. Megan?
Mr. Chairman, I move we open the April 25th, 2026 meeting of the Board of Directors for the Society for Creative Advancement.
It's a motion by Megan and a second by Keith. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, vote in favor. That is 6 in favor. Any opposed? None opposed, and the meeting is open.
Mr. Chair.
Just rearranging some of those here.
Whoop.
Kate's got
Yeah.
I move that we. Yay or nay? Okay, Mr. Chair, I move that we accept the agenda as presented, but take things out of order as needed. And we already did.
Second from Director Falcon. Is there any discussion on the motion? Directors voting in favor? 6 in favor, any opposed? That motion carries. Agenda is adopted. Moving to item 2, approval of minutes. 2A is the January 25th, 2026 quarterly minutes. Director Stoyer.
I have a small correction to the January minutes, if I may be recognized to make that correction.
Please do.
It's the part A4 set on the Society DEIB officer. The report of Christina Gonzalez, Society DEIB officer, was summarized and accepted. There was no action. Her SCA name, or their SCA name, is Castellana de Andalusia, not Christina Gonzalez. So I would like to make that amendment, please. The name correction.
There's a motion to amend the minutes for the name correction. Is there a second? It's a second from Director Capps. Voting in favor? Six in favor, any opposed? And that motion is carried. Further motions on the January 25th minutes. Director Stoyer.
Mr. Director, I move that we accept the January minutes as amended.
That's second from Director Howard. Directors voting in favor? Yes. Six in favor, any opposed? None opposed, those minutes are approved. Item 2B, the March 2nd conference call minutes. Director Stoyer.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept the March 2, 2026 conference call minutes as submitted.
Say motion by Director Stoyer, second from Director Falcon. Voting in favor? And six in favor, any opposed? None opposed, and those minutes are approved. To item 3. Stacy. 2A status changes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Under item A, status changes, there are no changes. Under item B, status changes requiring board action, I have several dissolutions to bring to the board. Item A, for the Kingdom of Anstiora, the Canton of Wildwood would like to request dissolution for the consideration to become a hamlet under the experimental platform approved by the board last year. This proposed hamlet will be supported and sponsored by the Barony of Darkwater. The group currently encompasses the city of Tulsa, Oklahoma. They are currently a canton of the Barony of Darkwater, and the Barony has agreed to sponsor that. Our other hamlet in that area was formerly a canton of Darkwater as well, whereas Timanoir was in the upper northeast corner of Oklahoma. Tulsa is about 70 miles to the south. And I would request that the board dissolve this branch so that they may petition to become a hamlet.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the canton of Wildwood in the Kingdom of Anstiora be dissolved as requested by the Society Seneschal so that they can request hamlet status.
Second. Second by Director Stoyer. Directors voting in favor of the motion. And six in favor, any opposed? That motion carries. 1B.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Under item B, we have from the Kingdom of the West, the Canton of Dark and Santa Cruz, California is a canton of Barony of Darkwood. The canton is geographically isolated from its parent barony and has been dormant for nearly 2 years due to the lack of officer corps. Many members are older SCA members, and Darkwood has agreed to sponsor Care Darth as a hamlet of their barony. Care Darth and the Kingdom of the West request dissolution for the purposes of becoming a hamlet under the current 2025 to 27 board experiment. Mr. Chair and Directors, I would respectfully ask to dissolve this canton to become.
Director Stoyer.
Mr. Chair, I move that we dissolve the canton of Silverheart. Sorry, I'm short down the list. Canton of Care as requested by the Society Seneschal.
There's a second by Director Capps. Directors in favor of the motion? And six in favor, any opposed? That motion carries. Item C.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Directors. I apologize for the lengthy list of branches in Ontario that are requesting this solution for everyone who's watching at home and everyone who's in the audience here. Nothing has happened to Ontario. These are just branches that have gone dormant, dissolved, no longer exist over a period of time and have not been officially dissolved by the board. Of course, dissolutions take a board action. That's why these are all presented here today. Ontario is okay. Ontario is not going. So you can see in Ontario, the canton of Silverheart, which is in Kootenai County in Idaho, respectively requesting the solution of that branch.
Director Stoyer.
Mr. Chair, I move that we dissolve the canton of Silverheart in the Kingdom of Ontario as requested by the Society Seneschal.
There's a second by Director O'Shea. Directors in favor of the motion? Is 6 in favor, any opposed? That motion carries.
Moving on Frontier, the Shire of Regate, which is in Omak, Washington, respectfully requesting dissolution.
Director Stoyer.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Shire of Dragate in the Kingdom of Ontario be dissolved as requested by the Society Seneschal.
Second by Director Poor. I should be asking for discussion. So is there any discussion on the motion? See none. Directors in favor? And is 6 in favor, any opposed? That motion carries.
Have the canton of Bearwood in East Snohomish County, Washington, asking for dissolution.
Director Stoyer.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the canton of Bearwood in the Kingdom of Ontario be dissolved as requested by the Society Seneschal.
Second by Director Poor. Is there any discussion? See none. Directors in favor? 6 in favor, any opposed? Not opposed, that motion carries.
Taking forward, the Shire of Conward in Kitimat and Terrace, British Columbia, asking for dissolution.
Mr. Stoyer.
I don't want to hog all the motions. Okay, Mr. Chairman, I move that the Shire of Kmart in the Kingdom of Ontario be dissolved as requested by the Society Seneschal.
And is a second by Director O'Shea. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, directors in favor? That is 6 in favor, any opposed? None opposed, that motion carries.
Shire of Ironroka in Whidbey Island, Washington, requesting dissolution.
Director Stoyer.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Shire of Ironroka in the Kingdom of Ontario be dissolved as requested by the Society Seneschal.
Second by Director Poor. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, directors in favor? Six in favor. Any opposed? None opposed, that motion carries.
Shire of False Isle and Powell River, British Columbia, requesting dissolution.
Director Stoyer.
Mr. Chair, I move that the Shire of False Isle in the Kingdom of Ontario be dissolved as requested by the Society Seneschal.
This is second by Director O'Shea. Any discussion? See none, directors in favor? It is 6 in favor, any opposed? Kate, you can't vote twice. You in favor or opposed?
I'm in favor. Sorry, I forgot to put my hand down.
That's fine. All right, that is 6 in favor, none opposed, that motion carries.
The Shire of Wendwick in Clickitat County, Washington, requesting dissolution.
Director Poor.
Mr. Chair. No, I don't like this, but I'm like, give Joan a break. Mr. Chair, I move that the Shire of Windwick in the Kingdom of Ontir be dissolved by as requested by the Society Seneschal.
Second by Director O'Shea. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, directors in favor? And 6 in favor, any opposed? That motion carries.
We're almost doing the Shire of Azure Keep in Umatilla County, Oregon, requesting dissolution.
Director Steuer.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Shire of Azure Keep, yeah, in the in the Kingdom of Ontario be dissolved as requested by the Society Seneschal.
And second by Director O'Shea. So any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, directors in favor? Six in favor, any opposed? None opposed, that motion carries.
The Shire of Rutland in Medicine Hat and Brooks, Alberta, requesting dissolution.
Director Poor.
Mr. Chair, I move the Shire of Rutland in the Kingdom of Ontir be dissolved by as requested by the Society Seneschal.
Second by Director O'Shea. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, directors in favor? 6 in favor, any opposed? None opposed, that motion carries.
Shire of Heron's Reach in Clatsop County, Oregon, requesting dissolution.
Director Steuer.
Mr. Chair, I move that the Shire of Heron's Reach and the Kingdom of Ontario be dissolved as requested by the Society Seneschal.
Second by Director Poor. So any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, directors in favor? 6 in favor, any opposed? None opposed, that motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And the last of the dissolutions on the list is the Shire of Bridenshire in Stevens and Penn Oriole Counties, Washington, requesting dissolution.
Director Steuer.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Shire of Winwoodshire and the Kingdom of Ontario be dissolved as requested by the Society Seneschal.
Second by Director O'Shea. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, directors in favor? 6 in favor, any opposed? None opposed, that motion carries.
Thank you, directors. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Under new branches, we have no new branches. Under Hamlet designation, I am happy to announce and welcome the Hamlet of Chemin-Noir and Bartlettsville, Oklahoma in the Kingdom of Anstiora. This is now our third Hamlet under the experiment.
Yep. Board acknowledges by consensus and without objection. And item C, the quarterly meeting schedule. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we have 2 board meetings left in the year. Our July board meeting will again be taking place virtually on Sunday, July 19th. And the current plan is for the October meeting to take place Saturday, October 17th, again hybrid in Charlotte, North Carolina. We've got all corporate officers invited, item C2, and our conference call schedule for the next quarter. Our next 2 calls in between board meetings will be taking place Monday, May 18th and Monday, June 22nd.
Thank you. Item 3D, bank account authorizations.
Yes, this is the this is the point in the show where we tell all the banks that we accepted all of the banking. Banking authorizations are up to date, and banks continue to get more difficult to deal with. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 3E, warrants.
As of April 1st, 2026, all warrants save two submitted this quarter have been acted on. 2 warrants are pending but should be completed by the end of the month.
Thank you. Item 3F. F1, board recruiting, Krista.
Pardon me while I find my unmute button. Hello, good morning. So we're always seeking candidates for the board of directors. We are looking currently for dedicated volunteers with strong judgment, diverse experience, and a passion for our community. The board service includes oversight of our corporate operations, strategic planning, policy development, and stewardship of the organization's values and vision. So right now we're looking for folks with experience in project management, human resources, finance, entrepreneurship, operations management, law, any other type of business leadership. So if you or someone you know is committed to service, leadership, or supporting the SCA's mission, we absolutely invite those nominations, and you can send them to recruiting@sca.org.
Thank you. Item 3F2, board representation. Dr. Howard.
The board wishes to thank the Kingdom of Trimaris for hosting the April 2026 Board of Directors meeting. Yes. It is also the hope of the board to hold a meet and greet 60-year celebration at Pinzik 2026. The executive assistant has reached out to the Pinzik mayor to make those arrangements. At this point, it is tentatively planned to hold the 4th quarter board of directors meetings in the Kingdom of Atlantia, possibly in Charlotte, North Carolina. More information will be forthcoming as it becomes available. The board is currently looking for additional opportunities to set up meetings at different larger local non-kingdom events. So if any groups are interested in hosting one of their events, please send an email to the executive assistant at ea@sca.org for more information.
Thank you. That brings us to item 4, old business. Item A, policy on generative artificial intelligence.
All right, yes. So there was a policy for generative AI that was put out for commentary to the membership, and we have received a lot of feedback from it. The creation of policy is very complex, and the feedback is really appreciated. We got a lot of different points of view and a lot of things that we will work on incorporating in the revision of the policy. That is where we are at. We have, I think, maybe 30 days left of commentary left. And this is a work in progress.
Yeah, did we want to talk about some of the discussions that we've had so far?
Director Stoyer.
Okay, I'm just checking. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, we've of course been discussing this internally a lot and listening to everybody as we go through events and things like that. And I think one of the things that we've been talking about is maybe breaking this into 2 sections of policy. Maybe we need one for business purposes, use of business purposes for, perhaps reviewing language and things like that, and another for on the arts and science side and things, actually creative, on the creative side. And so maybe those are 2 different branches or different policies.
Yeah, we have to be very mindful. The SCA always has to operate under a very limited budget, and it's not good for the society as a business side of it to not avail ourselves to that technology that allows us to get more done for less. And that's, I know it's not super popular opinion among some people that, you know, there's some people that are like, no AI at all, it's just all bad. I think the truth of the matter is it's gonna end up in the middle somewhere. There's gonna be some good parts on it, there's gonna be some bad parts on it, but the policy itself has to be crafted in a way that allows the SCA to do the job that it needs to do to provide the insurance, support the members, and make sure that we can do the things we have to get done.
And I think it's also important for us to be cognizant of the developing legal requirements around AI and where it can expose individuals or people to risk.
Yeah, confidentiality, that's a good point.
Confidentiality.
Yep, people wrote
So
in-
we'll need guidance for, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. You-
I was just gonna say we need guidance for how, you know, appropriate and not appropriate uses in order to protect their confidentiality if it's used for business purposes.
Yes, in addition to that, people had concerns about how the enforcement would look. So we're cognizant of volunteer hours spent on something like that. And we do recognize like a lot of the feedback we got was really concerned about it from the arts and sciences side, which is more of a game side element and the SE doesn't want to take away from the creativity of people and replace that with AI. So, but that is all something that we were trying to work as we were crafting this policy.
Yeah, and to be sure, a policy at the corporate level, you know, there can be policies beneath, you know, below that corporate level that are more restrictive than any policy that we might have at the corporate level. You know, for instance, if the Minister of Arts and Sciences wish to, of the society or a kingdom wanted to write, or, you know, or kingdom law wanted to write a policy that is more restrictive than the corporate policy, they are certainly welcome to do so per corporate.
Yep. And the current plan right now, working with Society Minister of Arts and Sciences to add this portion to the handbook to address this from the arts and sciences side.
We wanted to take a moment to share though that this has been a large amount of discussion of reading. I think I counted over 94 pieces of commentary, maybe more than that. I have a separate folder for all my feedback. And I remember there'd be like 94 in my, I may have missed one or two, but that's really a lot of great feedback. And there was, I know I read all of them. I think every board member read all of them. We do appreciate that. And we'd like to keep encouraging people. Please do send us these opinions if you like this. And we were gonna try to make sure that we read them, listen to them, and then amend our thinking based upon them.
Please continue to send us those comments, you know, talk with us at events. Please share your thoughts and opinions.
So by consensus and without objection, this item is returned to the SCA president for further work. So ordered.
Still like another month left for commentary, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Item 4B. Society Marshal report changes. Melissa.
Good afternoon. A quick background, in 2024, there were many proposed changes to Kapora in regards to the marshalate sections to bring it up to date with current practices. We've been going through that. Those were sent out for commentary. We received commentary, and we've been going through those over the last year with the board to get those updated and approved. The last two are presented today, and these were originally get my Roman numerals here, 9A3 to be renumbered to 9A2 to read the requirements and standards for marshals, authorizations, weapons, armor, and equipment are delineated in several marshals handbooks. And propose that wording be approved.
Like to see that in writing.
Well, I thought we also kept the part about the, we had to keep the part about.
We did have to keep the part about the kingdom handbooks being more restrictive because it wasn't anywhere else.
Right, so that already needs to be in there, so, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I think we're, I moved that we return it for the. Or we can see our consensus, whatever it is we do.
Right.
Consensus.
By consensus.
By
Yep.
consensus.
By consensus and without objection, that is returned to the society marshal for additional work.
So that was the change that we worked out yesterday. So I guess I'm confused on what,
That was one of the changes that we discussed through, but it came to light towards the end that taking out the verbiage about the specific kingdom handbooks being more restrictive wasn't actually anywhere else in any of the books or anywhere for that to still be a thing. So that would make it so that they were no longer able to do that.
Right, and we decided to need in line with what the exchequer and handbooks.
Right.
Yeah, so we were trying to bring all three of those into the same kind of.
We discussed similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Similar verbiage.
we were talking a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a long conversation. And we can get together about it after the meeting if you want, Melissa, that's fine.
okay, so I will put together the full plan of what we all talked about yesterday and resubmit that for your approval then. Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Do we want to go over the wording for the second one?
Yep.
Okay, so this was 9A6 to be renumbered to 9A7. To read, now upon authorization, that authorization shall be registered and tracked by the kingdom, and proof of authorization shall be provided to the participant. This proof may be a physical authorization card, a list, or an accessible online system, and shall be available to the participant, marshals, and the list officials in order to validate authorizations as needed. The participant must show proof of authorization to any marshal or list official upon request. The Kingdom Earl Marshal or designated deputy shall verify the authorization or proof if there is a question of validity.
I would like to see it right before we approve it.
Yeah. Have to have it in writing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
To amend it.
Yeah, I don't want to do it verbally, but that seems consistent with what we talked about yesterday.
Okay.
Okay.
So then we will return that one for further work and settle that later when we have everything in writing. Yeah.
Okay. I will resubmit those updates in writing then. Thanks.
Get there. By consensus, without objection, that item is returned to the society marshal for further consideration. All right, item 5, new business.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a policy interpretation to present to the
Please do.
April 3rd of 2026, titled requiring an oath to the consort to accept a non-remitter's award. I received a question from one of our kingdoms regarding changing the wording in kingdom law to require an oath to the consort in order to be able to accept a non-armigerous award. Essentially saying that we are offering you this award, which you may accept, but only if you swear this oath. This runs afoul of corporate policy 18, which is the anti-discrimination policy, which states the SCA does not discriminate on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, age, national origin, veteran status, sexual orientation, gender identity, disability, size, or any other basis of discrimination prohibited by law. Persons of various religious backgrounds, military status, etc., would not be able to take such an oath and would have no choice but to be denied that award, and this would be discrimination. The other section of corpora where an oath is mentioned for any award is corpora 8A4AI, patent orders under the chivalry, where the choice of swearing an oath is specifically noted. A, the chivalry. I, the chivalry consists of 2 equal parts, knighthood and mastery of arms. No one may belong to both parts of the order at one time. When a member is admitted to the chivalry by the sovereign, the choice of which part of the order to join is made by the new member. The candidate must be considered the equal of his or her prospective peers with the basic weapons of tournament combat. To become a knight, the candidate must swear fealty to the crown of his or her kingdom during the knighting ceremony. Masters of arms may choose to swear fealty, but are not required to do so. Please see the policy clarification upheld by the board as of January 2025. Clarification regarding the equality of knighthood and mastery of arms. There is a link provided. This clarification reinforces the equality of knighthood and mastery of arms, therefore elevation to the equal arm of the chivalry. The candidate has the choice of oath or not at the time of their elevation, i.e. knight or mastery of arms, but they are not denied the elevation if they do not swear the oath. Therefore, you may not write kingdom law in such a way to require an oath to receive an award based on the anti-discrimination policy. I would ask that the board uphold this policy.
I don't want to bog over.
Director Ward,
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept the policy, or is this a variance? No, this is not a variance. This is a policy interpretation. Mr. Chair, I move we uphold the policy interpretation of the society seneschal involving fealty oath. What is this interpretation of? That is like my brain is like kind of fried on that part. Apologies. Is it a interpretation of fealty?
Oaths and non-armigerous.
It's requiring an oath for a non-armigerous award.
Okay.
Oath period.
Okay, the policy of non-armigerous awards.
You did, well,
So-
you can suggest
I
it.
suggest, I feel like.
Yeah.
The policy that your interpretation should not be limited to non-religious words. That policy should be for all religious and non-religious.
I respectfully agree. However, the question was asked for a non-armigerous award.
Got it.
That would be a different policy.
Yeah, I know, I was like, we can take care of it now.
That's it, now, but we have to put it on the agenda.
Yeah, that's what-
And then we can vote.
If somebody has a friendly amendment to my motion, that is totally fine.
Director Stoyer,
Mr. Chair, I'd like to offer a friendly amendment if I may.
go ahead.
I would like to amend that the policy interpretation was regarding oaths and non-armigerous awards.
Point of clarification,
Yeah,
this is, it's not a board action that's being presented, it's a policy interpretation.
yeah.
It's not a friendly amendment, you need to return it for further work.
Oh. I just want, no, I don't have to return for the work. I just wanted to
If you
clarify
want
the
to
motion.
make an amendment, in other words, if you want her to amend her policy interpretation, you'd have to return it for further work.
I just want to clarify the motion.
That's it.
I would like to offer a clarification to the motion that the policy was regarding not anymore, oaths and non-armigerous awards.
Is that acceptable to?
Yes, that is acceptable to me.
How do you feel about
Would you like me to read
that?
that back?
Yeah, go ahead, read what you got.
There is a motion by Director Ford to uphold the Society of Seneschal's policy interpretation regarding oaths and non-armigerous awards.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's the best motion ever.
Is there a second? Second by Director O'Shea. Is there any discussion regarding this action? See none, directors in favor? And 6 in favor, any opposed? None opposed, that motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Item 5B. Recruitment and media plan. That's about.
Okay, first and foremost, we are always looking to find ways to grow the SAA, and we are appreciative of all the works by Shadleys and other members doing demos and local things to help grow the SCA. One of the things that we are looking at on the corporate level is having paid advertisement to extend our reach so that we can reach markets that aren't necessarily known to us, to extend our reach externally. So one of the things that was presented to the board was a media plan. And I think where we landed on that was we need to get more specifics about it and to put together a more specific plan going forward on how we would like, how the board would like to proceed on that. But the short of it is, we are looking at ways to grow the SCA, and marketing is something that works, and that is something that we are considering on the corporate level.
So recognizing that,
I just wanted to say during the conversation, yesterday, we floated a bunch of different ideas that I think a lot of people were excited about. And I also think that there were also some concerns presented, so it's something we're definitely going to be discussing more in the future.
yeah, that this appears to not be ready to be decisioned on, so by consensus and without objection, we're going to return this to the SCA president for additional work. Okay. Brings us up to section 4, reports. Does anybody need a break? We've been going for close to an hour.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
All right, also section 6, right? Oh, yeah, section 6, sorry. So we are going to take a 10-minute break. We will return at 5 minutes after the hour. Section 6, reports. Item A is the report of the SCA president.
Okay, first off, I know there's a scrolling commendation stack, but I would like to commend the Discord team for cultivating and maintaining a wonderful community online. Reese Guian Mark is the admin for the Discord, and the moderators include Aid O. Sidhill, Siona Ni Riordan, Aidan De Cheese, Arsil Beg Mac Rudri Big Mac Siddig, Astrid Eriksauter, Snorri Johan Bjorn, Runa Bjarki, Katrina and Kira, and Isa. And I would also like to commend Brian Gustum and Philip Brigham for their help and expertise on the PINZIC policies and procedures, or helping us understand them, to help the society's work on clarifying its policy regarding law enforcement. And for my general status report, the SCA Discord server continues to grow, and it has hit 3,000 plus users. One of the reasons that I did the accommodations for the team is like they've helped create a very welcoming environment for people to connect from all over the world. Folks from Drakenwald, Locac, just all over the place. And it's grown into a really nice community, and it wouldn't have, turned into this without the Discord team. And for some of the projects that we were working on, Project Margin, which is exploring alternative revenue streams, is making progress and is currently analyzing historical data. Project Scale is looking at an events policy, and it is currently developing a framework. Project Known World Library, which is to develop a learning management system for the SA, has finished gathering quotes and information from different options and is put together a report for the board of directors to review. The AI policy is out for commentary currently, and it was mentioned earlier. More specific procedures have been developed in consultation with experienced SCA event runners to give more clarity when law enforcement becomes involved at SCA events. And we've been working with Stacy on that. And that is going to be added to the Seneschal's handbook at some point. And the handbook would then be put forward to the board for approval. The Canada Working Group continues its work on a path forward towards possibly becoming a new affiliate. And a marketing strategy was proposed to the board for recruitment intention, and that was mentioned earlier. It was about paid advertising. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, President Bao. By consensus and without objection, your report is gratefully accepted. Item A1, Vice President of Information Technology.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The IT department has been focused on keeping an even keel this quarter. Behind the scenes, we're continuing to plan and implement and plan many improvements for the future. The IT policy project has resumed. Nicholas Milano has stepped in to lead that, and he is beginning to assemble an advisory panel to help finalize the proposed policies. David, our head of development, continues to work to investigate and design systems which will improve our membership experience, including tying into Neon CRM. And I want to give special thanks to former Director Shepard for stepping in with our to help with our conferencing cameras and microphones. As an addendum, because I received it this weekend, the SharePoint admin for the society, Isabel Lane, has tendered her resignation. So we want to thank her for all of her efforts and getting us up and running and improving our SharePoint implementation. And this concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. By consensus and without objection, your report is gratefully accepted. A1A, Society Web Minister, Kevin.
Good afternoon, everyone. This quarter, there was one policy interpretation, and that was that it is my interpretation that personal information, as called out on page 15 of the Webminister's Handbook, includes modern name, home or work, physical or mailing address, phone numbers, personal email addresses, links to social media profiles, personal social media profiles. This interpretation makes it clear that the Webminister's definition of personal information is consistent with section D.1 of the Release Forms Handbook. In addition, and with consultation from the Society Communications Officer, I would like to add the following items to that list, being date of birth and date of death. For the general status report, at the kingdom level, groups continue to work to update their systems. Significant effort was made by all the groups to ensure that sites are in compliance with the current Release Forms Handbook, which I deeply appreciate. One kingdom did experience a site compromise due to a weak password, but they were able to resolve the issue with little trouble. Society and kingdoms continue to work together to identify and address regular vulnerability scans. At the society level, the Webminister's office has added 2 new deputies, one for policy and one for accessibility. We also worked with the Society's social media officer to establish a new Discord server to facilitate communications within the Webminister community. We have also received approval from Kingdom and Society Seneschals to host a Known World Webminister Symposium virtually this upcoming July. Finally, I want to thank the K-Web community in particular for their inspired communication surrounding the collection and presentation of sensitive information. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. By consensus? Oh,
I
Director Stoyer.
don't believe we've received a written copy of this report.
If you do not have it, you will have it by the end of the day.
Excellent. I would like to reserve accepting it until after we see the written report.
Kevin, we're gonna need you to email that in because it didn't make it to the right people.
Okay, I will make sure. I'm at an event right now, but I will make sure that we get it to you as soon as I get home to my office.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Director Falcon? Do I have to table that or just leave it?
Well, if you remand, which is probably the correct one, that would push it to the next meeting of the board. You can table that, at which point, it stays there until somebody brings it back up.
Let's remand.
Let's remand it.
Yeah, and you're not required to, but you typically will remand and state the meeting that it's gonna come back up at.
Okay. So the report of the society web minister is remanded to the May conference call.
Very good.
Thank you. A2, Society Communications Officer. Oh. Oh, do you have any information?
Sorry, I wasn't prepared with this.
Hi, a floating head checking in. There was no report from communications or social media for this quarter. Also, Uni is here, our Laurel Sovereign, and I know that she has stepped away from an event. So if we want to take an item out of order, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, let's do that. The Society Herald had requested some special handling in the timing of her report. So let us move to. It is 6E, report of the Society Herald. Uni.
Thank you for your understanding. So let's get to the report. As always, there are several changes to the heraldic rule set.
Okay. Uni, I'm going to stop for a second. We're having a very difficult time hearing you on our end. It's kind of broken up. I don't know if you want to try to reconnect.
Okay. All right. Would this be better?
Oh, yes. There we go.
Oh, yes. There we go. Yeah, it wasn't the connection. It was the headset that doesn't really want to work as a microphone. So let's try this way. So, as always, there are changes to the heraldic rule set, mostly small and incremental. Item A, requested board actions. There is one of these this time. Our registration system includes heraldic wills, where a person can designate an heir who will have control of their registered items after the original owner's death. Currently, the administrative handbook is written so that the heir may ask for the items to be transferred to them. The present change would allow the heir to grant permissions to conflict with the items, or release them or transfer them to someone else, even when they cannot transfer ownership to themselves. The most common reason for this to happen is that the registered item includes elements restricted to an honor, such as peerage or augmentation, that the heir hasn't got.
Director Poor.
Mr. Chair, I move we approve the revisions to the Laurel Administrative Handbook section. Where did it go? Section 4.g, heraldic wills, as requested by the Laurel Queen of Arms, effective immediately.
There's a second by Director O'Shea. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, directors in favor? And 6 in favor, any opposed? None opposed, that motion carries.
right, going to item B, policy interpretation. First of all, there are 10 updates to the standards for evaluation of names and arms or armory. Items 1, 2, and 8 of these will modify our armory style rules to better match our current knowledge of period heraldry. And item 9 is a clarification of this part of the rules. Item 3 clarifies and rearranges our rules on how we treat elements that look like a separate coat of arms, included with a device or a badge. Some of these are only found as augmentations in period armory, and so we restrict them to similar uses within society. Others are such that we will need to check separately for conflict, so that, for instance, someone may not have as their device a boat that has another person's arms emblazoned on the sail. That kind of designs. Items 4, 5, and 7 clarify our rules on using consistent language within a single name. Item 6 is a small clarification of our rules on name conflict. And finally, item 10 is a similar clarification on armorial content.
Director Poor.
I always get these wrong. Mr. Chair, I move we uphold the changes to SETA policy interpretations as presented by the Laurel Queen of Arms, as requested by Laurel Queen of Arms.
There's a second. Director O'Shea. There's a motion to uphold these policy interpretations. We have to do them individually or
In total.
in total?
In total, yeah.
Yep, in toto. So any discussion? Seeing none? Directors in favor? And the 6 in favor, any opposed? None opposed, that motion carries.
Thank you. Next, there are changes to the glossary of terms. There are 3 of these. Item 1 clarifies that a rose vine in a round loop looks so close to a chaplet of roses that it too is reserved to royal consorts and members of the Order of the Rose. Items 2 and 3 add default colorings and charge details to conventional shorthand lists.
Director Howard.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to approve the updates to the glossary table as presented by the Laurel Queen of Arms.
Is there a second?
A second.
Director Falcon. Thank you. So any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, directors in favor? The 6 in favor, any opposed? That motion carries.
And next we have changes to the administrative handbook appendixes, which consist of updated links on the list of known sources for which we do not require photocopies.
Director Ford,
Mr. Chair, I move that we uphold the changes to the administrative handbook as presented by the Laurel Queen of Arms. For the appendices, apologies. Changes to administrative handbook appendices as presented by Laurel Queen of Arms.
there a second? Second by Director O'Shea. So any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, directors in favor? And 6 in favor, any opposed? None opposed, that motion carries.
Thank you. And that concludes the policy interpretations. The next section of my report is new policies, of which there are none. Next, we get to commendations, which I believe have traditionally been published elsewhere than just read aloud at these meetings. Would you like me to read them, or is this handled separately?
We have those handled separately. Thank you.
Then we get to the general status report. The mid-year Noble Heraldic and Scribal Symposium will be held on August 22nd to 23rd in the Barony of Shattered Crystal in the Middle Kingdom. This will be a hybrid event with attendance possible in person and online. Second, Olivier Lefloch has started his 3-year term as Wreath King of Arms, responsible for making armory decisions in March. So at present, the 3 sovereigns of arms all quite evenly spread between the full range of time zones. And third, my term ends at the end of this year. So I would ask if you please to give me permission to start looking for a successor, so that they could be warranted at your October meeting, because this would give that time for an orderly transfer of office. And obviously, since this is a status report, I am not for a ruling on this right now, but please be aware of the situation.
Thank you.
What was the request?
Okay, so the request is for Laurel to post for her successor. Her term ends at the end of this calendar year.
Okay, thank you. It was not clear. The audio was not clear.
Anybody opposed to that?
No.
By consensus and without objection, so ordered. You may post.
So I don't think going smoothly, so society-wide. There is no travel projected at the moment for me or for my deputy sovereigns of arms, and that concludes my.
Thank you very much. By consensus and without objection, your report is accepted. Enjoy your event.
Thank you.
Okay. We will return to the standard agenda. We are at item A4, Society DEIB Officer. Roxy.
Hello again. I am Castellana de Andalucia, the Society DEIB officer. Starting with commendations, the Gulf Wars DEIB officer, Kehinde, created and distributed an inclusive survey to gauge people's experiences with diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging at this past Gulf War. Collected responses will help the Gulf War DEIB officer tailor its inclusion and accessibility services for the future. Also, an accommodation from this past Gulf War, the Mid-Realm hosted a demonstration and roundtable discussion of the SCA's listening system, which is an opt-in accessibility system capable of streaming the words of the Crown directly to the phone's Bluetooth enabling listening device or personal hearing aids. Moving to status report. The DEIB office has officially been set up with a reporting system, with this being the first quarter where Kingdom DEIB officers are turning in their reports. Huge thank you to Drew and Amy for all their help and patience with me. The Kingdom DEIB officers and I have started a reoccurring quarterly meeting on the first Thursday of the month in which reports are due. So that would be March, June, September, and December. Also, the Kingdom DEIB officers and myself have started working on a collaborative project in which we will clearly define the roles and responsibilities of DEIB officers in varying contexts. Too often, the importance and value of DEIB officers in the community, the kingdom, local groups, at events, and inter-kingdom wars are overlooked, undervalued, or dismissed. The hope is that this official statement will give DEIB officers a tangible document which could be presented to the Seneschalate, other kingdom officers, event stewards, war staff, etc., detailing the roles and responsibility of the DEIB officers in each context and their importance. Renee, Office of Inclusive Programs, and myself are still working on the Society's official statement on cultural appropriation versus cultural appreciation. We are working slowly and carefully on this. We would rather take longer and make sure it is done correctly rather than rushing. We have also reached out to the Kingdom DEIB officers for recommendations of individuals to form an affinity group, which can then aid myself and Renee in interpreting this official statement as situations arise. And finally, my apologies for not having the DEIB handbook submitted this quarter as I had originally hoped. A number of the individuals helping with proofreading and corrections found some major discrepancies which I had missed that definitely need correcting before it can be submitted. So that is my fault on that one for missing those. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. By consensus and without objection, your report is gratefully accepted.
Thank you.
A5, the Officer of Inclusive Programs. Renee.
Hello. All right, let me get my, give me just a second. Okay, here I am. Hello. So I'm going to skip over commendations if that's all right, because that's being handled elsewhere. As far as general status, I was asked to teach an inclusivity related course at Newbie Collegium in Glen Alvin, and the topic was having a home in the SCA. I will talk more about that in my next report. Also, I'm still working with Bao, Roxy, April, Tiana, and Sam on the creation of the LMS. Simon of Barnesdale has joined our team. He's a very welcome addition. Eva's been working hard on meeting with reps for different LMS platforms and has been really good about providing updates and recordings of the meetings and pros and cons. So that's been very, very helpful. And I'll keep it short because Roxy dove in pretty deep to it, but we're still working together on that initiative to conscientiously create that SCA stance on cultural appreciation over cultural appropriation. And like they said, it's very important that we take our time to do this to make sure that it is appropriate and timely, and it has everything in it that we need. So let me see. I don't believe I have anything else. No, because I don't have any travel planned or addendums or anything like that. So this concludes my report.
Thank you very much. By consensus and without objection, the report of inclusive programs is accepted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 6B, Society Seneschals report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is my report for Q1 2026. Under requested board actions, I have none. Under variances, I have none. Policy interpretation was taken care of in a previous section. Group status changes were taken care of in a previous section. This is a short report. I have commendations, of course, for all the hardworking people out there. They have been scrolling during the breaks. General status report. It has been yet another quarter of mad dashes, as all of the Kingdom Seneschals can attest. Another Gulf Wars is passed with attendees enjoying camp life, martial activities of all varieties, vigils and elevations, and of course, 4 seasons in 1 week. Many had contacted my office noting confusion and miscommunications prior to and during Gulf Wars. These were addressed with leadership during Gulf Wars, and plans to mitigate such issues for 2027 are already underway and in discussion. I had the opportunity to meet with some of our current and new Kingdom Seneschals in a relaxed face-to-face gathering that was very pleasant as always. My thanks again to Dan Watson and his crew for their wonderful hosting. I am woefully behind on some Kingdom law interpretations. New proposed amendments, as is often the case, may not agree with other sections of Kingdom law or corpora, which requires my office to conduct a full review rather than a partial review of the entire law to ensure consistency with the applicable law and corpora. My special deputies and I are carefully working through all the submissions. This process deserves and requires thoughtful and attentive consideration, which of course also takes time, and your patience is very much appreciated. Handbook updates. The Seneschal handbook updates continue. We keep adding things to it, and will include an update to the policy on law enforcement at SCA events and activities, which will add clarity to our current policy. This will also be referenced in the event handbook, which is also in progress. And finally, I have a first draft of the Society Youth Handbook from the Society Youth Officer, and hope to have a workable copy to the board for review by the Q2 meeting in July of 2026. Kingdom Seneschal office hours in April of 2026 focused on procedure and protocol for running Kingdom investigations, stressing that those should mirror the procedures used at the Society for the sake of continuity and clarity. For travel, during Q1 2026, I traveled to the Kingdom of Ontario for their 12th night, and of course Gulf Wars in March. Planned travel in Q2 included Meridian Spring Coronation, and other travel may happen as opportunity or need arises. Publishable summary. The seasons shift and the wheels of the Society keep turning. I am very pleased to report that the 2025 Hamlet experiment is going well and gaining momentum, with the second Hamlet formed in Anstiora, Him and Noir, as of this quarter. Based on continuing conversations I have with Kingdom Seneschals, I anticipate more applications in the coming months.
As mentioned above, there was a Kingdom Seneschal's meeting at Gulf Wars where we discussed some of the usual topics. Volunteerism was top of the list, as some kingdoms note a lack of volunteers submitting kingdom event bids, with a focus as to how the kingdoms and their kingdom laws may address this and what seems to work in other kingdoms, calendar events, next event becomes the kingdom event, et cetera, et cetera. Questions on clarification of policy are a common subject as well, although those are a sometimes daily occurrence and cover a variety of topics. I continue to be grateful for the ease of communications with and between the Kingdom Seneschals, as well as brainstorming for specific problem solving. As mentioned above, Kingdom Seneschal office hours in April focused on the investigations process and procedures. This was for clarity. We again have new Kingdom Seneschals taking the plunge this quarter. Welcome and welcome back in at least one case to those who have stepped into what we often refer to as the hardest job you'll ever love. Those who bring their unique talents, their time, their patience to administer, guide, and advise. Your service to your kingdoms and the society are greatly appreciated. Ronan of Keith, who has stepped up in the Middle Kingdom. A welcome back to Roxanne de la Roche on her return as the emergency replacement deputy, stepping into the office for Abacall temporarily. Ian Stewart, Master Esgar, who has stepped into the Kingdom Seneschal office for the East, and Bill Anderson in North Shield. Welcome to you all and thank you. Chair, this concludes my report.
Thank you. By consensus and without objection, the report of the Society Seneschal is gratefully accepted. Item 6B1, Society Youth Activities Officer.
And that's me again. This is the report for the Society Youth Officer for Q1 2026. Requested board actions, none. Policy interpretations, none. New policies, none. Also a very short report. General status report. Ongoing projects, the Society Minister of Youth Activities Handbook, which we have a first draft for. Item 2, resources for youth parents and families, YouTube videos, website links, and PDFs. These have been shared resources with the Kingdom Ministers of Youth and a Zoom meeting between the Kingdom Ministers of Youth in January of 2026. Travel that is noted is various events around North Shield. However, the weather has curtailed a lot of travel during the winter months. Publishable summary. Youth activities continue to grow across all kingdoms. Interkingdom wars now offer many opportunities for youth and teens to participate in activities and benefit from mentoring programs. I am currently working on a handbook for the Office of Youth Activities and hope this handbook will clearly outline policies in effect within the society, as well as provide guidance to kingdoms in running programs and offering resources to families and ministers of youth. Mr. Chair, this concludes the report of the Society Minister of Youth.
Thank you. By consensus and without objection, the report of the Society Youth Officer is accepted. Item 6C. Corporate Operations. Louise.
Is it that time already? Thank you.
It is.
All right, let's get this up. Oh, and by the way, hello, I am Louise Ducre, Vice President for Corporate Operations. I believe I am the woman who needs no introduction, though. So I actually do have a requested board action. There are a number of stale invoices in our system that need to be cleared. They've been reviewed among our internal and external financial teams. They don't represent any actual existing liability. They are just invoices from prior years, 2022 to 2025, that were just marked incorrectly. But as they are prior year adjustments, board approval is required to close them. And you've been provided them, and let me know what you want to do.
Howard?
Chairman, I would like to make a motion to close the invoices as noted as stale by Vice President for Corporate Operations.
There's a second by Director O'Shea. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, directors in favor? That's 6 in favor, any opposed? None opposed, that motion carries.
Thank you very much. This is when things get real exciting, folks. All right, my commendations have been on the scroll as well. We continue to make progress toward replacing checks with electronic payment options. The majority of USD Kingdom transfers to corporate, primarily NMR and background checks, are now processed via ACH, and we are working on a solution for our Canadian groups to be able to do the same without relying on the international mail service. The next phase is focusing on corporate transfers to kingdoms and groups. Primarily, these are event checks and matching grants, donations that we forward via ACH or other secure electronic options. Aaron has been amazing working on that. For those groups who still need to mail insurance checks, please also mail your request to insurance@sca.org and let us know to expect it. Otherwise, it sometimes goes into the limitless ether and your event is this weekend and we haven't seen it. As first noted in 2025 during the 10-year trademark renewal process, the SCA Inc. Laurel Shield Mark only covers usage without any words or letters. So we have now filed a new application for the Shield Mark consisting of a combination of wording and a design, as that is the mark that is currently used widely online, on goods, in publications, and at the top of your screen. As always, please reach out to us at membership@sca.org if you have questions or need assistance, insurance@sca.org for insurance questions and requests, and for background check matters, you want to contact backgroundchecks@sca.org or your Kingdom Seneschal, or as always, you can contact Stacy and then she'll contact me. I have no travel. That's it. That's it for me.
Thank you. By consensus, without objection, the report of this Vice President of Corporate Operations is accepted. Item C2. Well, she did C1, that was the C2, the Publications Manager.
Yes, and this is the report of the Publications Manager, Gloria Woodard, known in society as Honor of Restermel. General Status Report. Welcome Christopher O'Connor and Karen Stripple, who will be serving on the Publications team as deputies to the Publications Manager. The Publications team continues to produce quality monthly newsletters, the SCA's quarterly magazine, Tournaments Illuminated, and the quarterly Scholastic Journal for the SCA, Complete Anachronist. Tournaments Illuminated and Complete Anachronist are both available by subscribing through membership services. That's me. And all of these publications, including the newsletter, are eager for articles, artwork, and other content for their publications. If you can contribute, please contact the appropriate editor, and that information is available on the website. If you have an idea, I will just say as the person overseeing publications, they want content, they want you, even if you think you're not a writer. They want pictures, they want cartoons. So go ahead and reach out to those guys. That was my editorializing. That is the report of the Publications Manager.
Louise, just a quick question. When you say pictures, is this drawn pictures, photograph pictures?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that a few of the really exciting things that I've seen in Tournaments Illuminated lately have just been people's travel photos. The cover of, I think the most recent one is the astronomical clock in Prague, which I think actually Ellen, our Complete Anachronist editor, may have taken. Yeah, artwork, commentary, people want to see it. We'd like to read it. We're really lucky to have these these publications, and obviously Complete Anachronist being the long form scholarly journal, and then Tournaments Illuminated being the magazine, there's room for everybody at all levels of contribution, I think.
Thank you. By consensus and without objection, the report of the publications manager is accepted. Item C3, Tournaments Illuminated.
I believe that continues to be the me show. This is the report of the editor for Tournaments Illuminated, Kendra C. Jones, known in society as THL is the Honorable Lady. Is that right? So many acronyms, guys. The Honorable Lady Kendrith Philia Gerald. No board actions or interpretations. General status. We are working on getting the latest issue of TI out. We continue to work on getting more content for the magazine. Need for content is one of the major factors in determining our publishing schedule, which has continued to be erratic. I've had some thoughts and ideas on this issue, which I have discussed with Gloria. Our issue with delivery of the complimentary copies of TI being sent to our content creators appears to have been resolved, and I would like to thank Louise for her work and attention to this. I didn't really do anything to this matter. So sorry to sorry to Kendra for scooping on her need for content, but it's something that we really do need. That is the end of the Tournaments Illuminated report.
By consensus and without objection, the report for Tournaments Illuminated is accepted.
Oh, and then one really quick update. Tournaments Illuminated, the next issue is at the printers. When we receive these reports, we're obviously reporting on the last quarter. So we write them and they're sent on April 1st, but by the 25th, sometimes things change. And I believe 2 days ago, the new TI is at the printers. So thank you.
Item C4, Complete Anachronist. Helen?
I'm here, but I seem to be muted.
We hear you.
Okay, you can hear me. It said that I was muted. Okay. Yes, if I editorialize, again, I'm picking up on the need for content. But I'll mention that in my report. Okay, first off, no board actions requested, no policy interpretations, no new policies. For commendations, many thanks must go to Adam Edwards. Oh, sorry, I need to slow down. Let me start again. Commendations. Many thanks must go to Adam Edwards and the various original contributors, writers and artists to the Principality of Insulae Draconis' Brewer's Almanac, David Cordis, Adam Edwards, Robert Garnett, Helen Lever, Drew Scheel, Catherine Terrett, Alex Thompson, and William Wagers. Adam Edwards compiled the original collection of articles on brewing, all how-to pieces written by brewers merely wanting to share their experiences with others. Edwards and the contributors graciously have permitted their work to be transformed into a complete anachronist. Thanks also to Sue Gilbert for what I know will be her usual excellent layout and design, and I'll comment on that later because this was written a couple of weeks ago. Kudos also are owed to Kello Scholl. I hope that's how I'm pronouncing it correctly, who has stepped up as a new copy editor. I, in quotes, met him at the online Tri-Kingdom University, where I gave a class on writing for Complete Anachronist in the Drachenwald portion of that event. And I believe he lives in Atlantia. So again, that shows it really was Tri-Kingdom. For the general status report, when I typed this, I said a Brewer's Almanac is currently CA210, is currently being laid out by Sue Gilbert, and we hope to have it sent to Joyce very soon. Update, Joyce has it. Okay, so it is there. It took a little bit in getting it laid out, getting everything done with it. And I must apologize again that we are behind an issue. We are still an issue behind. First off, since a Brewer's Almanac had been published as a special edition of a Principality newsletter, I really thought it was going to have a fast turnaround time. Unfortunately, I discovered that it was published exactly as submitted and it needed a bit of editing. a lot of editing, along with work on citation and bibliographies, and that took a bit longer than I'd originally thought. I have been in correspondence with various would-be complete anachronist authors. There are a number of people working on manuscripts. They truly are. But I fear they still need more time. There really are a lot of people working on writing manuscripts. Some people are almost done. Some people are halfway done. But as we know, life happens. And so people need more time. I can't demand a financial advance back as I might if I work for Penguin Books and or something like that. There's really not much that I can do about it. People have lives, and they are working on things. I've seen some partial drafts, and they are volunteers, of course. However, I live in hope that 2 writers will finish at approximately the same time so that we can catch up. And again, I beg forgiveness of everyone. Hold on, I've got another page here. So there's been no travel. As I said, I have a lot of proposals in. I have a lot of partial drafts, and so we'll see what we can do, and hopefully things will turn around. But again, it seems like as of this meeting, I know I'm not the only one who's really asking for content. So again, since I'm here, if I can editorialize, please, if anyone who's watching this has ever thought about writing a complete anachronist, don't be scared, don't be intimidated. I know for some people, oh my goodness, 55 pages or something like that may sound intimidating. Trust me, I will work with you. I can give you references to people I've worked with in the past that it's been a good experience. I've had people write 2 or 3 complete anachronists. So please, please get in touch with me. But here's the publishable summary, and also to be used for advertising within the SCA. It is CA 210, a brewer's almanac. So whether you're a master brewer or a novice, a brewer's almanac, a collection of articles based on real-life SCA period brewing, should interest you. The authors range from beginning brewers to masters, and they write of their personal experiences working with recipes from various sources, including Roberto de Nola's Libro de Guisados, Eleanor Fetterpace's receipt book, and The Customs of London, otherwise called Arnold's Chronicle. Additionally, an overview of alcohol in medieval Ireland, written by a native of that country, is included. You don't have to be a brewer or even a drinker to find something of interest in this collection of research, redactions, and experiments with centuries-old recipes. And that concludes my report. Thank you very much. And again, apologies for being behind. And again, thank you to Louise for again mentioning the lack of content. So thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you. By consensus and without objection, the report for the complete anachronist is gratefully accepted. Item C5, the Society Chronicler.
Hello, it's me again. This one should be very short, though. This is the report from the Society Chronicler, Crystal Smith, known in society as Mistress Cecilia Blythe, OP. And her general status report is latest Black Fox winners, almost ready to be announced, almost time to start sending in nominations for Anno Societatis 60. Publishable summary, no problems to report. Known world summary, none. That's it. Beautiful.
Thank you. By consensus and without objection, the report of the Society Chronicler is accepted. The Society Archivist. C6.
Yes, in this case, Travis did mean to attend, but he had a conflict, so I will present his report as well. This is the report from the Society Archivist, Travis Schenk, known in society as Ramon de Javier. And the archive continues to receive new requests for information and submissions, both digital and physical, for the collection. Currently, I am working on a continued culling of duplicate copies of newsletters and documents in the archive. This work has made it apparent that there are few holes in the archival collection, and not the kind caused by bookworms. The archive has excellent coverage of most of the known world groups and kingdoms from the late 1980s through the early 2000s, when newsletters began to shift to digital delivery. However, especially between the 1970s and early 1980s, there are many documents that should exist but are not found in the archive. I am hoping to set up an online submission portal using something like Google Forms, where members of the SCA can digitize documents and newsletters from their personal libraries and submit them for preservation by the archive, especially these early materials. I will be working on submission guidelines that will allow the general populace of the SCA to create quality digital documents that can be used for research. I also hope to produce a catalog of the early portions of the archive so that people can see where gaps exist in the collection and submit their digitized files for preservation. I gotta say, guys, this sounds awesome. I'll say it since Travis isn't here to talk himself up. Of course, any digital submissions of SCA-related newsletters and publications are welcome, as they save us the work of digitizing materials already in the collection and reduce the handling of documents that can damage them. Anyone who would like to help with this project is welcome to contact me at archives@sca.org to be part of this effort. As digitization planning moves forward, and in collaboration with several partners, the archive is looking to create its first online repository for digital materials. Currently, we are using a free omeka.net account, which provides a way to upload digitized material, as well as include catalog information and metadata for each document. These materials can then be made accessible to researchers via a guest account and password system. I hope to establish a system where any member of the SCA will be able to access the database, but this will require additional work with the SCA IT team to find a system that can grant access and verify membership. It is an interesting puzzle to solve. As always, the archive stands ready to help with research and information requests and looks forward to helping the known world know its own history. Travel. In the upcoming quarter, Travis is tentatively planning to attend Battlemore in the Outlands, where he would be happy to meet with folks and discuss SCA history and the preservation of that history. That concludes the very exciting report by the archivist. No sarcasm.
By consensus and without objection, the report of the Society Archivist is accepted. Thank you. Does anybody need a break?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably about that time, yeah.
Yep.
Just need to warm up.
All right.
Yeah, DAC's doing a really great job in here.
So we are going to take a 10-minute break. So we will return at 11 minutes after the hour.
Plus feeling in my lower extremities.
Welcome back. We are now at item 6D, the report of the Society Treasurer. Carolyn.
Hello, everybody. Pardon if I'm moving my head around because I have reports on like 3 screens here. So where I'm looking is where I'm reading from. So here is the Treasurer's report for the first quarter of 2026. My requested board actions are none. Policy interpretations, none. New policies, none. My accommodations are scrolling on the break, but I would like to add to that I really appreciate all of the exchequers of the known world because I believe we are further ahead on getting our financials done than we've been since I took this office 3.5, 4 years ago. So general status report, item D1, which is our investments. The report that was submitted had a copy of the investment account. And as of the end of February of this year, our balance was $1.3 million. That was down a little bit from the end of December. And I did look at the March statement, which was not available when I sent in my report. And that has dropped another $60,000 just due to market changes. So we are currently closer to 1.2. We did have to withdraw $60,000 from the account in January in order to pay our insurance premiums. And hopefully we can make that up again sometime later, but we'll have to wait and see. The item 2D, which is the year-to-date budget versus actual summary as of the end of February, we are in the red to the tune of about $30,000. That's considerably more than our budgeted loss of $885, and that's probably mostly from having to pay the insurance premiums in January. It's not unusual for us to run a loss the first quarter of the year because our biggest premium is due in January. The item D3, the balance sheet, that has been sent to the board with the report, and there's nothing extraordinary there. Likewise, the profit and loss statement pretty much matches what I just stated for the end of February. I did only just receive the March financials from our bookkeeper this last week, but I have not had a chance to look at them yet. Item D5, our investment account statements were attached to my report. And item D6, the membership statistics. Hold on while I pull those up. As of the end of February of 2026, we have approximately 23,000 paid members. I thought I had given this report to our web minister to publish, but I just looked on the SCA website earlier in the meeting and I don't see it there. So apparently I did not send it to her. I will get that sent over after the meeting so that that can be published up on the website. That also is a reflection of our general downward trend in membership. Just in case anybody's curious, at the end of 25, we had around 23,300 members. We're just hovering above 23,000 even. So we've lost roughly 300 members in 2 months. The final audit report, which is item D7, that was included with the board report. The auditors did send us the final audit conclusion, and there were no major issues noted. I will post a draft summary to the website after the board meeting. I just wanted to make sure the board had it first. The 2025 Kingdom financials. Most of the kingdoms have sent in their 2025 workbooks and are a few are still working on them. About 5 kingdoms requested extensions. I have since received about 2 or 3 of those kingdoms. I'm still waiting for 3 kingdoms to turn in final reports, and a couple of them I have had to send back for more work because there were problems when I started reviewing the report. I am having regular Zoom meetings every other Wednesday evening so that the Kingdom Exchequers can pop in to ask questions if they need help. And because I had to change the worksheets this last year, I'm still finding formula problems in both my worksheets, and some of the kingdoms have found problems in their worksheets that hopefully we won't encounter next year. So that has occasionally slowed things down a little bit. Publishable summary. It seems like we no longer finish one financial cycle before we have to start all over again for the next year. And I can tell you after 45 years in accounting, that's just the way it goes. So far, the reports I've received from the kingdom have had no major issues, although I'll make an exception for one I looked at last night. So they've been easy to deal with. Travel, I have nothing work related, but I do plan to go to the Barony of Western Seas in the next 2 weeks to visit family. And one thing I didn't have in my board report, because it happened since I submitted my board report, I will be going on the Tasting History cruise with Max Miller in Vietnam next year. And I am very, very happy about that. So that concludes the report for the corporate treasurer.
By consensus, without objection, the report of the society treasurer is accepted. Thank you. Brings us to D8, the society exchequer. Aaron.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My first quarter report for 2026. Requested board actions, none. Policy interpretations, none. There is, my apologies, there is an incorrect statement under A, activity from the fourth quarter of 2025. That is incorrect. It is from the first quarter of 2026. New policies, there was a minor revision to the society financial policy that was approved during the March conference call. It was literally 2 words that we just had to make sure were clear. No major changes. My commendations have been scrolling, but as Carolyn alluded to, this is one of the fastest turnarounds that we have had so far, with getting all of the consolidated reports in 2020 for the year, so that we can make sure that we are completing those more quickly. So thank you to all of the Kingdom and Greater War exchequers who have turned in their reports, as well as their quarterly financial reports. And most especially to Petra Hall, known in society as Dame Piera del Guerrero, who continues to be the primary support in the implementation of the new quarterly report forms. Without her knowledge, continued assistance, and her own brand of magic, we would never have been able to accomplish that change. The new report forms have been developed to be better in line with the consolidated reports, so that there is less having to take from one cell to put to another cell, and it can actually copy and paste an entire group and move it over. As with anything new, there are changes and difficulties and working through some problems, but the hope is this will make it easier for everyone. And then number 5, variances granted. Variance was reviewed and is being granted for Lily's War to hire professional fireworks technicians for a display at the upcoming Lily's War. Society financial policy does not permit SCA funds to be used for fireworks without the direct approval and variance granted by the society exchequer and having all appropriate contracts and insurance paperwork in place. So that variance has been granted, and I would ask the board to uphold that.
Do I have to recuse myself?
Do you feel the need to do so?
I don't know.
Director 4.
Mr. Chair, I move that we uphold the variance as presented by the Society Exchequer to allow for fireworks at Lily's.
There's a second from Director Katz.
I'm not unbiased.
You're recusing?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not unbiased, but I'm for it.
Jeez. Okay.
I'm recused.
Okay. Please note that Director Stoyer has
Based
recused.
on advice of counsel, I'm recused.
Discussion or voting on this matter. With the exception of Director Stoyer, is there any discussion on this matter? Seeing none? Directors in favor? It is 5 in favor, 1 recused. Is there any opposed? Seeing none, that motion carries.
I'm the one who gets that contract in place.
Number 6, my general status report is also my publishable summary. There are a few kingdoms who have not yet uploaded their FY. My report says 24, it's possible it's 25, it's also possible it's 24. Fourth quarter reports to our report drop. The exchequers have a SharePoint file drop. They are required to put their final reports in. Continued delays may incur disciplinary actions, including warnings, trainings, which are not disciplinary, suspension. But I am fairly serious about the fact that we will be following policy. B, notices have gone out to Kingdom Exchequers and their respective seneschals if 2025 reports are not up to date. We are welcoming Mackenzie Lechtenberg, known in society as Astrid Lokadotter, who has succeeded James Baker as the Society NMR deputy. We're happy to have her. The Society financial policy went into effect as of January 1st, 2026. The procedural handbook has now also been completed and put into effect. The new quarterly financial report is also complete and has been distributed to all exchequers. There have been a few technical issues, but with the stalwart assistance of Petra Hall, the new form is in effect. And one additional thing, an educational platform was implemented using the Canvas LMS or Learning Management System to allow all exchequers and interested parties to engage with the exchequer educational materials, including policies, handbooks, training videos, etc. So we are happy to have that in place and look forward to other officers joining us through other LMS platforms. And then for travel, I will be attending FMARC War Practice in May and then Penzic in July. And those dates also are incorrect because those are from last year, and that is how well my brain has been functioning. And with that, I conclude my report.
Thank you. By consensus and without objection, the report of the Society Exchequer is accepted. Item E, the report of the Society Herald has already been addressed. Takes us to 6F, the report of the Society Marshal.
So, good afternoon, everyone. For requested board actions, that was taken care of earlier. For commendations, those have been scrolling, but I would like to point out two of them. In particular, Conrad Cruz, our fabulous siege deputy, who has gallantly held that office for over 6 years. His humor and kindness, both on and off the field, has been very appreciated. And I would also like to thank and commend Sir William Hawke of Effingham for his extraordinary efforts as a society deputy for Harnessfect in the last 2 years, where he helped launch and grow this new society experimental program that has gained significant participation and provides a great avenue for historical combat techniques and appearance on the field. He has now stepped down and passed on the torch to our new society deputy for Harnessfect, Lord Roland de Bescon. General status report. It's spring and summer fighting, throwing, shooting, riding season has started. Work is steadily progressing on the new handbooks. We thank everyone who has taken the time to read and provide feedback. Experimental and existing programs focused on specific historical combat and martial techniques has picked up and is evolving into a nice complement for our mainstream martial activities. I'll talk more about that later in the report. We are also seeing increased interest from outside medieval combat groups for our events, many who are joining the SCA or rejoining the SCA. We've seen people come back with all the new stuff. Some highlights, martial office changes. Kaid is welcoming Alison Gray of Cranley as the new Kingdom Marshal, thanks to the outgoing Sir Davin. I talked about the new Harnessfect deputy, and the deputy for combat archery will be stepping down at the end of August. The position advertisement has been posted. If you're interested in that position, please check the announcement and apply. What's new? In equestrian, the new equestrian insurance sharing approach, costs, and processes has been updated on the SCA.org website. In rapier and equestrian, we launched a new joint experimental spear staff program. It's the first joint experimental program between equestrian and rapier and cut and thrust using wax wedge shafts, not rattan, and the more flexible 3D printed spear tips. The Thrown Weapons new online handbook has been posted for 60 days for commentary. Few highlights from around the kingdoms. Abacal has been seeing a large increase in interest in their cut and thrust program, with several local HEMA groups coming out to see what we do. The West Kingdom's Armored Combat Rattan Handbook is now live, along with multiple updates to their West Kingdom Marshal web pages. The West and Kaib were the first two kingdoms to move their kingdom handbooks for Armored Rattan completely over to the new format. So good examples of seeing the various options kingdoms have in the new web-based handbooks. The Mid-Realm has been doing a great job organizing their training classes and disseminating that plan in progress to improve their marshals' basic understanding and application of the society and kingdom laws, and how to handle common duties and issues that come up at events and practices. In the Outlands, Apollonia Zaunstricker was inducted into the Order of Defense, the first to be recognized for her skills and contributions to Rospekten, which is a historical mounted fencing form. And Lokok has their new online authorization database, live and working. For the Rules Modernization Project, the Rapier Combat and Cut and Thrust Combat handbooks have been out for commentary, which has just ended. We've been going through the over 500 comments and reviewing them and making updates as needed in the handbooks, and we hope to have that done here shortly. Thrown Weapons is out for commentary. The Equestrian Handbook is complete and has been sent to the Kingdom Marshals and the Kingdom Equestrian officers for feedback. Before we go for public commentary, we're doing a quick internal review with all the kingdoms. The other major project from this office is an online, global, and automated accident and incident report form. We have a draft template in the works. The data fields have been determined and reviewed by legal. We're currently reviewing this with all the Society Marshal deputies until last month, and now we're working on finishing coding this. We hope to tentatively start testing it around Pensic time. So for reported injuries and equipment failures and incidences, in this last quarter, we had 13 reportable injuries with 2 concussions, 2 injuries due to movement, self-inflicted. They just moved wrong. We haven't had any heat-related instances yet. And we've had 9 conduct issues reported with 5 sanctions issued. My appreciation to the marshals who are doing a good job capturing conduct issues and holding people accountable. And as I mentioned, an injury and incident reporting is improving a little bit, and hopefully that online portal will make things a lot easier for everyone going forward. Across the different disciplines, martial activities continue to increase across all disciplines. Youth Combat has 2 new kingdoms rolling out their programs. Congratulations to them. Siege is also on the rise. The community and kingdoms are actively adapting to the new equestrian insurance approach. Tremendous support from the kingdoms. Thank you so much. And more kingdoms are modernizing, creating online authorization systems and training materials. Really good, and they're sharing them amongst the kingdoms, which is great to see. A few highlights in specific fields. The Armored Combat Rebated Blade Steel program. A team led by Atlantia has been formed to update the rule set to address ongoing issues. And Rapier Combat, we talked about the new handbook. We also brought on Master Brune from Rudiers to help us with Rapier Combat Archery. And a very fun and successful scenario with Rapier Combat Archery occurred at Gulf Force this year. In target archery, the seasonal shoot was the Renard Round. So this was a shoot originally designed by the Greenwood Company in the Mid-Realm. and it takes standard targets and it rewards consistency and endurance. So they shoot a lot. So congratulations to the winners and the overall winner, Crispin Fletcher from Northfield. In experimental programs, I already talked about some of those, but just as a quick update, the Rapier reduced torso armor is still exploring next steps. So that experimental program continues on while we're evaluating the data. And my travel this year, I was able to attend War of the Phoenix. That was a really fun and wonderful war. I really had a fabulous time. And at Gulf Wars this year, I took the time out and I was able to participate in all 5 martial activities. So Armored Combat Siege, Rapier, Thrown Weapons, Target Archery, and Equestrian. I had so much fun being able to be out there on the field with everyone. Got to see the new Rapier combat archery scenarios. There was a fabulous fighter panel on underrepresented genders. And thanks to my other deputies who were in attendance, the Armored Combat Rattan deputy and his emergency replacement, Siege, and Harness Fectin. Next up, I will be at Battlemore. I'm hoping to attend Lily's this year. And a reminder to everyone that the Known World Armored Combat Symposium will be in Northfield, September 5th and 6th. And that concludes my report for this quarter.
Thank you. By consensus and without objection, the report of the Society Marshal is accepted. Item 6G, Society Minister of Arts and Sciences. Catherine.
Hi, sorry, I didn't expect to come up all of a sudden. I don't know why, but I didn't. As I'm sitting here sewing away because, you know, ANS. Hello, everybody. This is the first quarter report for 2026 for ANS. With 18 kingdoms who reported in the first quarter, the arts community is thriving and growing. Most of the kingdom ministers of arts and sciences reported on a wide variety of classes that they sponsored throughout their kingdoms. There were competitions, exhibition opportunities, and workshops. And it's gratifying to see that the art organizers are embracing both in-person and online possibilities as ways to reach as many people as possible. Some kingdoms are presenting themed events to help focus on some of the arts. Other kingdoms are looking for ways for people to display their projects in low or no stakes events, while other kingdoms are still sponsoring high stake competitions. So there's the entire gamut of opportunities for artists in kingdoms across the known world. I'd like to report that at Gulf Wars, I sponsored a KMOS and their deputies meet and greet. It was right after the ANS competition. We had an opportunity to discuss common issues and offer suggestions for solutions, or just simply offer empathy. Other topics that were included asking, this is on something that I'd like to see happen more, is asking the kingdoms that attended there specifically, but I'll be opening this up to other venues of conversation, to develop a set of rubrics that is aimed specifically at the sciences and engineering people, because the way that these disciplines do research is not as contextual as it is expected in the liberal arts, and they feel marginalized in the ANS competitions and fairs. They do, instead of contextualizing research and saying this is what, who did what, why, and where, they do a planned set of experiments and investigations. And finally, we discuss, of course, the use of AI in the arts community, and we are planning a known worldwide virtual meeting with KMOSs and their deputies with some special people involved. That meeting is still trying to figure out how to get everybody involved, because we are literally global. But speaking of global, for the first time in the SCA, 3 international kingdoms, Atlantia, Drachenwald, and Lokak, worked together and created an amazing opportunity for ANS classes at the Tri-Kingdom University. I would like to call out special commendations to the TKU staff who conceived and took on the task of providing a fantastic international opportunity for the arts community. Many people were up for the entire 27 hours of the online event to provide support to bring this to life. And at one point, this was so popular that some of the classes had as many as 200 students, something you can't do locally. Even at Penzic, you can't get 200 people in one classroom. Those tents just won't handle it. And finally, of course, there's a discussion of the impact of AI in the arts community, and that is happening everywhere. Trust me, I've stopped everywhere to ask about it. Presently, we're collecting comments, and then we, again, as I said before, we would like to have a meeting with the known world, Kingdom Arts and Sciences, to start to craft an AI policy along with the board. But I will be retooling the handbook so that we can include this. So the handbook right now is on hold so that we can include the AI component in it when we call this out for commentary. And with that, that includes my report for first quarter.
Thank you. By consensus and without objection, the report of the Society Minister of Arts and Sciences is accepted. Brings us to item 6H, the Society Shadowing. Drew?
Hey everybody, so we have no requested board actions, no policy interpretations, no new policies. Obviously the accommodations have been on the scroll, so we won't go through all of those. As far as travel, we went to Gulf Wars, had a wonderful meet and greet with that was hosted by the new Kingdom Shadowlane and Meridies. Got into some deep discussions on how to streamline use of gold key and newcomers points or Shadowlane points that we are going to build some teams on through with other kingdoms to try to make sure that those are having a better effect on what we are doing going forward. Another known world newcomer symposium is being hosted this year on November 28th and 29th, hosted by the Kingdom of Meridies, stewarded by Mistress Ellen DeLace out of Meridies. So we're looking forward to that. Continued work is going forward on the Shadowlane's Handbook. Again, we plan on having that done by the time I step out of this office. It's been a longer process than I ever expected it to be, but we want to make sure we get it done correctly. And we just released a new report starting for next quarter that will have some better statistics to show how we are doing with things as far as recruitment and doing demos. And that is my report.
Thank you. By consensus and without objection, the report of the Society Shadowlane is accepted. That concludes the reports of the Society officers. We move to agenda item 7, the report from executive session. Director Howard.
Executive session was opened on Friday, April 24th, 2026 at 3:52 p.m. Eastern Time. Not in attendance, Director Falcone. Item A, Society Seneschal, confidential updates. The report of the Society Seneschal was accepted as presented. Item B, Kevin Saz, known in society as Bryn Fitz-Savaric, Peary. Motion by Director Stoyer for denial of Viscounty of Kevin Saz, Bryn Fitz-Savaric for Corpora 4, H7A, and Corpora 4, C2 as a failed reign. Second by Director Poor In favor, 5. Opposed, 0. Motion carried. Motion by Director Stoyer to revoke the membership of and deny participation to Kevin Saz, known as Bryn Fitz-Savarick, based on violations of corporate policy 20A1, 20A3, and 20C1. Second by Director Capps. In favor, 6. Opposed, 0. Chair Jonathan Foster exercised his option to vote and did so in favor of the motion. Motion carried. Group C. Laura Cotino, Sophia the Orange. By consensus and without objection, the board will take the recommendation of legal counsel. Item D. Legal updates. The report of in-house counsel was accepted as presented. Item E. Communications Officer hiring discussion. There was a motion by Director Poor to offer the position of Communications Officer to Sarah Chapman, beginning at the end of the July quarterly board meeting. There was a second by Director O'Shea. In favor, 5. Opposed, 0. Motion carried. Item F, the April 25th, 2026 subsidiaries, action by verbal consent. All actions of the subsidiaries of the Society for Creative Anachronism Incorporated are accepted by consensus. At this point, Director Falcone joined the meeting. Item G, Director resignations. By consensus, the resignation of Mark Falcone from seat G of the Board of Directors for the Society for Creative Anachronism was accepted, effective at the close of the April 25th, 2026 quarterly meeting. Director Falcone again left the meeting. He was dealing with work stuff. We're okay.
I'm considering requesting an amendment to say Director Falcon drop the mic.
Yeah.
Should we get on the official resignation? Do we have the official resignation? Do you want to get onto that? Yeah, well, I'm kidding. Okay. Item H, Director appointments. By consensus, the appointment of Carl Chipman to seat G of the Board of Directors for the Society of Creative Anachronism was acknowledged at the close of the April 25, 2026 quarterly meeting. Item A, Chair assignment. By consensus, no action was taken. Item J, Vice Chair assignment. By consensus, no action was taken. Item K, Ombudsman assignments. These assignments will become effective at the close of the current meeting. Jonathan Foster, Chair. Ombudsman for the President, Society Seneschal, Corporate Office, Executive Assistant, and Financial Officer. Megan O'Shea, Vice Chair. Ombudsman for Arts and Sciences, Ansteora, East Kingdom, Palantir, and Publications. Krista Katz, Director. Ombudsman for Aidenveld, Atlantia, Meridies, Middle, and Recruiting. Pardon me. Carl Chipman, Director. Ombudsman for North Shield, Chatelaine, Information Technology, and Outlets. Keith Howard, Director, Ombudsman for Ontier, Artemisia, Kaid, West, and Marshall. Kate Poor, Director, Ombudsman of Inclusive Programs, DEIB, Heralds, Ethelmark, Glen Aubin, and Trimaris. Joan Stoyer, Director, Ombudsman Abacal, Drachenwald, Eldemir, and Locott. Item L, warrant expirations. The following upcoming warrant expirations were noted and returned to the appropriate officers for further work. In-house counsel, expiration April 30th, 2026. DEIB Deputy Leadership Development, expiration February 28th, 2026. DEIB Deputy Learning Technology, expiration February 28th, 2026. Webmaster, expiration January 1st, 2026. Marshal Deputy Siege Engine, expiration October 31st, 2025. Yes.
I have a question about the webmaster. I'm sorry.
Yes.
We had executed a renewal of her warrant.
Okay.
Okay, I you said it was returned for,
I would check with Leslie on that. I'm reading what she wrote since she couldn't be here.
okay, yeah, she's the one who sent you the warrant that was signed off on. So-
It should be, yeah, maybe it's one of the ones, I know there were two she mentioned that had not been executed and she may not have updated the notes for the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
And I believe we did sign off on that.
All right, thank you, sir.
There was a motion by Director Stoyer. Motion to amend the agenda to add a confidential matter regarding the East Kingdom. There was a second by Director Capps. In favor, 5, opposed, none. The motion carried. Item M was added, a confidential matter regarding the East Kingdom. By consensus, the board took no action. That is the end. Executive session was closed at 6:03 p.m. Eastern Time.
Thank you. Okay. Brings us to agenda item 8. So, it takes a special kind of person to dedicate their time to serve on the board of directors and make sure that the society continues to function for all of us. Takes a really special person to do it twice.
There, that's John.
I'd like to note that I do hold his resignation and he really meant it. So, thank you very much, Mark, for the time that you have given to the society. It is greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
In token of that, we can paint a few things. Good. Bring this down. All right. I'm reliably informed that it could not all be brought on the airplane because TSA. So.
Look at that. Well, thank you all, and deeply appreciate it.
So, for those at home, if you want to say what you, what was in the bag?
Sorry?
For those at home, you want to say what was in the bag?
Oh, yes, should do that.
It's like an unboxing.
Yeah. The folks here know me well, because this is a bag filled with grilling supplies. From the tongs with the spatula on them to heat gloves. A rather large bag of Auntie Arwen's ultimate garlic insanity.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm very much.
That's a good thing.
Oh, and we're on the R with, pig out big time. Yep. Kenny's freaking chicken. I tried that one. Cow and Timberwolf. That one might be for dinner tomorrow. And on the R with bad bird. But thank you all very much. It has been, you know, as it always is, an interesting time on the board. And I'm deeply appreciative of the opportunity to serve the society and to attempt in whatever ways possible to be a part of its continuing success and future. I've been in the SCA my entire life. I've met most of my friends here, met my wife here, my children are in the SCA. My granddaughter is curious about it, so we'll see how that goes. But for 50 years of you know, it's been one of the primary relationships, or part of all the primary relationships in my life. And it's been a privilege to serve it as a director on both of the times that I have. And I look forward to what somebody else is going to do going forward. And I'm confident that you'll all be you know, much the better as my replacement, Carl or JP as most people know him. I'm supremely confident in his ability to improve on the things that I brought to the board and bring something special. So allows me the luxury of being able to step down to the board and know that things will be taken care of as well as, if not better than I did. So I'm very happy about that. Thank you all very much.
As is tradition, I'll pass the gavel down to Director Falcon.
Before we pass the gavel, I just wanted to say a few things. So I've passed it, but before it gets to you. So I still remember getting a phone call from you when you asked me if I wanted to be on the board.
There you go.
Yes, thank you.
She has a client.
And I still remember being like, is this for real? Like I looked at the phone number, I'm like, what's this? It's calling me. And it's been a lot, right? So thank you for being willing to shepherd us all in as we've joined the board. I know I'm not the only person who has probably called you to say, what am I supposed to do with this? Help. And you've always been there to do that. Gonna miss you and all these meetings. And again, thank you for everything that you've done and for all the service that you've put into the society, not just in this role, but in all. Thank you.
I don't know if we're all supposed to. Thank you for your leadership and for your friendship. And I look forward to seeing you in a more relaxed environment, like, you know, Gulf Wars.
Me too. My pleasure.
Any of the online directors want to say anything?
I'll say one thing. Thank you, Mark, for being another representation of a second generation participant in this game. You are a shining beacon to us younger folk, even though you are years old. Seriously, thank you for everything that you've done this term and your previous term as well.
Thank you.
Sam, Mark, thank you very much for the mentorship of all of us, for the however many years that you and I have known each other. You've always been somebody I've looked up to, and serving under your chairship that a word, chairship? It is now, has been an honor. So thank you for everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kate.
So following the close of the meeting, we'll take a break to determine if there are any submitted questions. And we will then return and we'll do Q&A time.
So, now we come to the point in the show where we wait for somebody to muster up the courage to make a motion to close the meeting.
Director Katz.
Make the motion, do you stay?
Yeah.
Director Katz.
Get up with my wife.
Mr. No longer the chairman, I move that we close this quarterly meeting of the Society for Creative Anachronism Board of Directors at 12:03 p.m. Western Standard Time.
For those of us on the right coast, that's 3:03.
Western Standard Time is her being.
There's a motion from Director Katz, a second from Vice Chair Megan.
Okay.
Yeah, I know your shit, just took me a second. Is further discussion on this motion? There being none, move to voting. Directors in favor, please signify by saying aye or raising your hand.
You get to vote.
Well,
You get to vote.
Not yet, I have to click.
He covered it right out.
As soon as he hits the gavel, I can then vote on things, but it will not be.
Yeah,
Okay.
which happens now. That's it.